we're in Prospect Park on a weekend, which I'm never here any weekends. I go home on the weekends. I go to the beach, but I'm here because this is pretty cool. This is a food and music festival. You know, two things that should have happened a long time ago. Chefs love music, musicians love food. That's what's going on these days. So the guys behind Bonnaroo, who know a thing about music festivals and a bit about food, decided let's put together this event that's really mostly food with live bands all over the place. Prospect Park, 2 days in May, gorgeous weather, 70-some vendors, some of the best shops, cooks, restaurants, pastry shops, plus beer, plus wine, plus music in Prospect Park. I gotta be here, right? The GOOGA MOOGA. It's kind of our little version of Woodstock in the modern time, but all they ate at Woodstock was acid, I think. So here we actually have good food to eat and good music. I've got my extra MOOGA, my regular MOOGA, and my over 21. Thanks, I like that. All right, GOOGA MOOGA, that's what's happening. I'm Mike Colameco, chef and food lover. Come with me and meet some of today's most interesting chefs and their crews that work in their kitchens. Real chefs, real restaurants, and real recipes. That's what's on the menu. This is Mike Colameco's Real Food.
Alright, so
one pepperoni, cheese is coming out.
So when I heard about a crazy festival with food and music, I'm like, those are my two favorite things on the planet. I'm in. The guys behind Bonnaroo decided, you know what, we do a great music festival. Let's do a festival with music, but tons of food. Hence the great GOOGA MOOGA. This is its launch, GOOGA MOOGA, Day 1, Prospect Park, Brooklyn, Saturday. It's a 2-day event, we're gonna cover it. There's 70, 80 food vendors from all around the city. We know tons of these people. We're gonna visit some old friends, make some new ones, and see what happens when you bring in 50,000 people into Prospect Park, throw a lot of good food at them, and live bands.
Mother-in-law's kimchi comes from a 23-year-old recipe from my mom's restaurant in Garden Grove, California. And I thought it was about time that Americans really got a taste of what delicious, authentic, or artisanal kimchi should be. So typically you use Napa cabbage, and then it's garlic, ginger, onion, and then you always use a little bit of fish sauce and like shrimp paste to give it that depth of flavor and to just make sure that you've got a whole lot of just that umami taste going on that really gives it that.
And then it sits preserved, it has to pickle for a while. I mean, it takes a while to actually ferment, and it ages.
I think the true understanding of kimchi is that the way that American terminology of pickling, but it's really fermented pickle. And so just like you would have an aged wine or cheese, I mean, a really good, well-crafted kimchi should taste better as it ages.
Now for this event, you've got this giant, I'm gonna pick this up, this ginormous tub of kimchi. How many of these did you bring along?
About 10.
Because you're expecting,
I have
there's
no idea.
Right, there's like 20, 40,000 people a day over 2 days. That's like insanity.
And who knows how much kimchi they want, so.
I can never pass up great kimchi. I love kimchi. Good on anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have like 4 other kinds, so just come on back.
Bite one of the day was kimchi. That's a good way to start the day.
Yeah, always start your day with some probiotics. Why go for yogurt when you can start with kimchi?
And it's so good for your breath. Make friends and influence people.
Exactly.
I'm here with Noah Burnhamoff, which is an amazing name. Amazing name for a guy that smokes meat. Talk to me about the story of Myaland, where you learned this craft and what you guys do.
So the story of Myaland was me sort of loving smoked meat, moving down to New York and missing it. And I just sort of set out to recreate what my palate told me was right.
You're from where originally?
Montreal.
Which has a tradition of delis.
A long tradition of delis, long tradition of small independent delis that actually probably resemble New York of 60, 70 years ago, a lot closer than right now. My goal with Myaland was to be as traditional as I could with the genre, and I made the decision that I would do less but better than to do more, which seems to be kind of the constant theme of a Jewish deli.
You just bored down, do one thing and do it great.
Exactly.
Oh man, look at that. So what do we have here? What cut of meat
is this?
So
this is actually this is the flat. So this is the piece that would normally be like corned beef.
And you hand cut everything because that's the way it's done?
We've never served a single sandwich that came off a machine.
Great.
In 2.5 years.
Great. You do your own rye bread?
Yeah.
That's the bite I want. I want the fatty corner. That's insane. I mean, that rub on the outside, the flavor profile that develops with the smoke is just nuts. And the meat, of course, is remarkable. How much meat did you bring today?
450 pounds. I always underdo it, so.
Yeah, maybe out by 230. This might be a popular stand. This is delicious. You represent the third or fourth generation now?
Fourth
generation on Houston Street, that same location, block away from Katz's, doing some of the best smoked fish on the planet.
We hope so. Me and my cousin Nikki are fourth generation owners of Russ and Daughters, and now we're going on the concert circuit.
I love it. Food and wine, man. This is food and music. I love this. So this is like my two favorite loves. I'm like, why didn't somebody think of this sooner? So tell me what you got today. I see we've got this amazing babka, but I can smell it through the plastic. This is insane.
We have chocolate babka and this beautiful little thing, which is called a beet and lemon shrub. Yeah. So it's basically pickled beet juice with lemonade, and it's actually an old-fashioned drink. Drinks with vinegar. We're like a throwback, like from way back, and they're just starting a resurgence. We may have been one of the first to do it. Now, like all the bars are getting involved, and it's cool. It's good with a little booze in it too.
So the music came up. There we go. Hello.
I'll say your love, hey, wait, but she can't help you to cross.
I'm here with John Mayer. You're the guy behind this. But you started with Bonnaroo. Tell me about how you got into this business, the whole concert thing, and then we'll get to the food bit.
Yeah, so I grew up in New York, but I went to school down in New Orleans, and I fell in love with the city, the whole music scene, the food culture. I had interned at the New Orleans Jazz Fest. You know, I had these amazing musical moments down there where I was so present that I wanted to share that and do more of that.
Well, I know you're gonna be no more crying on.
You know, and it will evolve. You know, this is our first year, but with all events, all projects, you keep learning and you keep evolving. Bonnaroo, 11 years in, we're keeping fine-tuning it and improving the experience.
Why do you think nobody did this? Because they didn't have the wherewithal that you did?
Well, I don't think it's just about the idea.
It's about the execution.
That's like, you know, it's about the execution. And it's a true, not just on festivals, but it's a restaurant, a film, a building, anything.
All right. I'm here with Huge DeFore. Huge,
hey.
Welcome to GOOGA MOOGA, man.
Thank you.
You opened M. Wells, which just completely blew up. The place was amazing. First it was just breakfast, then breakfast lunch, then breakfast lunch dinner, 3-star review, more business than you could shake a stick at. But the lease was short, so now you got another plan of action. In the meantime, you're here. Tell me about the sandwich you're doing here today.
I mean, we're doing grilled cheese. Simple,
grilled cheese. Yeah, simple grilled cheese. Okay, so American cheese, Pepperidge Farm bread and butter. No.
Cheddar and foie gras and bologna. Bologna sounds great, right? In the grilled cheese. Bologna, horse meat bologna.
Where'd you get horse meat bologna?
It's funny. They're American horses, but they're processed in Canada because there's no
law.
There's no slaughter facility for horses in the States. And funny enough, there's tons of horse meat coming back in the States every day, but it goes for dog food and prison ears. So it's pretty cool.
They eat horses everywhere. We see it in Italy, we see it in Spain, we see it in France.
I mean, apparently it's the only country in the world where they don't eat horse.
How did you hear about this? Who contacted you for this event?
GOOGA MOOGA?
Yeah.
It's my crazy lawyer and friend, Adam.
Hey, Adam.
And originally we wanted to be at Bonnaroo for the sake of it.
Right.
And I mean, GOOGA MOOGA was a kind of the way to get into it, and plus it's fun, you know.
Totally,
yeah, it's a great festival.
Can you imagine? Criff Dog is what?
What's
Criff Dog, the story behind Criff Dog.
The story behind Criff Dogs? It started in 2001. It was a joke between my original partner and myself. We thought we couldn't really get a great hot dog in New York City, and we took our love and our passion and put it into 700 square feet, and there we go, 10 years later.
And the idea was a Jersey dog, a North Jersey style dog, which is the deep fried hot dog, like Rutt's Hots, like Callahan's.
Yeah, exactly.
Which hadn't been done. Everyone else in New York had some on little grill things, or on a grill where they're rolling. Dirty water, whatever. Rest is history. Success is like crazy. Criff Dog, more PDTs next door, great cocktails. How did you hear about this and get involved?
I want to get myself down to Bonnaroo. This is what I really want to do.
Sounds like we're going to get a thread here.
I think this was kind of the foot in the door to
get to Bonnaroo.
Yeah, I just bought a truck. So it's, I would like to take it to Tennessee next year.
So tell me about what you're serving today. What kind of Criff Dogs do we have going on? It's not the whole menu.
No, we just got one dog. They said just do one dog, a side, and a drink, and that's it. So we're doing a Chihuahua, bacon wrapped, sour cream, avocado.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's good.
It's stupid good, man.
Yeah.
Who makes those dogs for you?
It's a secret, but it's a Jersey secret.
And we're rolling. I'm here with the two Frankies, gentlemen.
Frank Mooga.
Hey, Frank Mooga, brother.
Mike and Mooga.
Congratulations on everything, and thanks for opening up in my neighborhood. The place is ridiculous. 457, 557, what's the address?
570.
I can remember it. 570 Hudson Street, just south of Bleecker, by something. Across from the White Horse Tavern. So you guys picked a dish. What do you do? You got this wonderful straight-up Italian food like you started out on Court Street with. What are you doing?
Sausage and peppers over polenta.
Grandma style, man.
That's it. No grease. It's hot, it's wet, it's delicious, it's easy.
And your sausage is Faicos.
Absolutely.
Great pork store on Bleecker Street.
Yeah. It's all homemade.
And that stuff sits well, like sausage and peppers is good now, it's better 2 hours from now.
Yeah.
It's like great all-day food.
Yeah, we put it in a to-go cup, so you can take it home if you don't finish it.
How did you hear about this event, what you drew to this? What drew you to this?
Well, I think it was billed as the biggest food event of the year. We do a few events. We've kind of scaled back over the last few years, but this one I really want to be part of. I actually kind of like begged to get into it. I really wanted to be here.
There's challenges. I mean, getting the stuff here, who had propane, who didn't, there's no cooking, there's no electric. So and you had to lump all your things in. So how did you work it out logistically?
Well, we choose for events like this. I want to be able to execute perfectly.
Right.
So we could do really simple fare. I mean, it's also what we're about at the shop too. We do whole animal butchery, so we have a lot of extra trim and ground beef. So when we had a lot one week, we made a lot of sloppy joe.
Make big giant batches of it, get that big wooden spoon in there. It's delicious, it's consistent, every sandwich is the same.
That's right, it's not fine food, but it certainly is tasty. We use all beef shank meat, because it's got that kind of like stickiness to it.
Protein.
We basically took a lunch counter favorite and made it a little bit better.
I make this for my kids. They eat like 5 things, and this is one of them. Can't go wrong.
It's one of those things when Dave first made it, I said like, I could eat this every day. I could like start my day every morning with one of these.
So we're at the part of the event called Hamageddon. It wouldn't be a modern event if it wasn't celebrating pork. Pork's like been the meat of this millennia, I think. Chefs love it. There's great pork around. Heritage breeds are coming back, and chefs love to play with it. And I walked by this thing, and I'm like, man, this is barbecue meat sculpture. The man behind this, Charlie Smith. Talk to me about this creation of yours, man.
Well, this creation is a collaborative vision that's come to life here between the producers of this event and a visual designer, an architect, illustrator, and visual me, sculptor.
And you actually sculpted, soldered, whatever it is, put this thing together.
Yes, we fabricated with my team in Atlanta, and we built it from scratch, raw materials from the steel yard.
Talk a bit about this merger of food and music and events like this, just for a second.
It totally makes sense.
Right.
People that are into food and wine, they're hedonistic, they like all the great pleasures of life, and they like music. And so, like mixing, like great wines, great food, great music together on a beautiful day like today. It's amazing.
It's completely natural.
It's the best.
Now, so tell me about the wines you're pouring here, because this is the wine you're kind of stoked about. I mean, you've got one of the great palates, you've got a great store. I know you love Chateau Neuf de Pape. I mean, we would all drink nothing but Burgundy and great first course Bordeaux if we could, but talk about this wine.
I pour you the Syrah, because I know you're busy, you got a lot of things to check out. But this is not overpowered, this is like medium bodied, it's got the pepper. I mean, right away, my first aromas that I got, it's like wild berries and pepper. And you know what, in the shop, this is like a $20 bottle of wine.
It's crazy.
I think that's worth every penny.
Crazy, right? Great value.
Can I get your tickets?
Yeah. I love this guy. Jean-Luc, thank you, man. Hey. Thank you, salute. Talk a little about Albarino, because I love it. We have this, it's a white varietal, but in your own words.
Yeah, so it's a white variety. It's indigenous to this region called Rias Baixas. It's in the northwest corner, sort of right above Portugal. It's wet and it's cool and it's rainy. There's still a lot of sun, but that's sort of very different than the rest of Spain. That's dry and hot and arid.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
It looks different. They play bagpipes. It's crazy.
Yes,
it sits between France and Portugal, so it's like this little bizarre land. It looks like Seattle up there.
Exactly.
All right, let's do this thing. I'm pouring myself a glass.
You know this wine, right?
Let me see the label. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is the oldest bodega in the region, so.
I love this stuff. Joe, does this bring back memories? Yeah. He was with me that week. You guys are the only place in New York where I will buy pizza by the slice. You're ridiculous. Seriously good pies. Tell me about this event. How did you hear about it? What got you roped into this?
They came to me actually, and they really wanted me to do it. I really didn't want to do it because
you're busy
Yeah, we don't do stuff like this. You know what I mean? This is like, because the pizza doesn't come out the way I want over here, but you know what I'm saying? Because when I'm working in New York, where the pizza comes out like perfect.
I know. Your place is crazy. $2.25, $2.50 a slice of the and I never buy pie by the slice. And you're like, your place is solid. So you're here. You're busy. You got a line that's never ending.
We're trying. I got one oven working, half an oven on top, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done.
And tomorrow you'll try and get the little more push on the propane and work it out.
I do the best I can with what I'm given.
All right. You know? Talk a little bit about this crazy truck that you guys brought in. Where'd you get this thing?
We got a truck. It's these guys from Connecticut rolling in the dough. The setup's sick. It's a great oven they have on.
It's a wood-fired oven.
1943 truck.
A 1943 fire truck.
It's a fire truck.
And this is the great Joe. Jim's got a great new book out. This is that no-knead pizza dough that he's making. That's like insanely good.
It's insanely good.
How long is it going to be in that oven? 3-4 minutes?
If
Not
that,
even?
we're trying to get it out as fast as possible. 3 minutes, 4 minutes is.
How busy has this event been in terms of what you anticipated and what it turned out to be? Just look, right?
You know, unfathomable. This is insane.
Wall-to-wall people,
yes.
As far as the eye can see. This line never ends.
Never ends.
From the minute you opened up until God knows when,
it's just
there's people staring
yeah.
at you with sunglasses going like, where's my pizza?
Exactly. But it's been an incredible day.
So we got here really early because we had to before the crowds descended. We knew they were expecting 50,000 people. So we started early in the morning. First stop was mother-in-law kimchi. We worked our way around, but I'll tell you, by the time we left at 4 or 5 o'clock, it was 50,000 people. And really, the wheels were coming off. People were running out of food. It was crazy. I heard Sunday was better, and I'm sure next year they'll get their stuff together. But anyway, let's finish this show where we started, and that's with kimchi. I've always wanted to learn, now I'm gonna get my chance. All right, so go through my ingredients, your ingredients. You've got Napa cabbage.
We've got gochugaru, which is the red chili pepper. And then this is the fermented baby shrimp.
Ginger, garlic?
Yeah, so we've got ginger and garlic.
Okay.
I like to use just a little extra just pureed onions to give it a natural sweetness and roundness. In the Korean tradition, when we talk about kimjang, which is the fall cabbage fest where people are storing hundreds
all the women of the village get together, and it's like the beginning of
the kimchi block party.
Right.
Is what I would say. So and it's famous because back in the old days before refrigeration, this was the only way that you were going to ensure that you had vegetables. Yeah, with hundreds of cabbage fermenting in your backyard, you know. And so what we're making today, we're just making a quick common type kimchi, and it's called mak kimchi, which really literally means common, like just throw it together kind of. We have a half of the Napa cabbage. What I'm going to do is just cut off the core, and I've given it just a light rinse and just kind of made sure that there's no grit. So I'm going to cut into kind of these square shapes. They're 1.5 by 1.5, 2 by 2. You can enjoy this in about 2 to 3 days.
That's fast.
Yeah, so it'll be super fresh, and then it just continues to ferment as long as you want.
And you keep it in the refrigeration at that point. In the old days, you're talking about in the old days in Korea, so part of that festival was make the kimchi, place it in these big earthenware containers, and then in the ground.
Right.
That's how it was kept cold, the way so many, cultures before refrigeration, that's what they did.
Right, and I often kind of see that as the same kind of parallel to like the environment in which you age wine in a cave or cheese, so it makes perfect sense.
Well, the French used to keep confit the same way when they had, the idea of making confit, putting it in fat so it was safe, it was under a lid of fat, there was no air in it, and they kept it cold outside.
Right. So we're going to just throw some salt, some kosher salt in this case, in here, and let it go for about 50 minutes.
All right, so an hour later in TV time, and you can see it looks different.
Right.
Flattened out, a little more concentrated. Literally, it's begun to cook in that sense of the word, in the chemical reactions, what's happening here.
When you taste it, what you want is like a little sweetness of the cabbage to
it's right behind the salt.
shine through. So, I mean, I always have to tell people that, no, the salt is actually rinsed out. We don't keep the salt in the fermentation process.
Through a colander, shake it, squeeze it dry.
Right. So what I'm gonna do is just put some this as a base. Garlic and ginger. I have my fish sauce there.
And all these ingredients can be purchased, at any Koreatown store. You can go to that's one on 32nd Street
Right.
and buy all the stuff to make kimchi at home.
Right. Old school.
Yeah, you're gonna get your hands in there anyway.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is grandma style.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna throw a little pinch of sugar. Just basically, this is it's making its own juice. It's making its own vinegar. So that's the whole probiotics
Right.
and the.
It's the more research they do, the more like this is what your gut needs. That looks great. You know what? I gotta taste it, baby kimchi.
But it's the chili peppers that's so important.
And you got this, already the cabbage is so sweet. People don't realize how cabbage.
And people think, oh, kimchi is so salty, and I'm like, you just got a bad batch if it's too salty.
This isn't salty at all. All right, so I can't wait. So this would 48 hours from now, that bad boy's gonna be ready to go. It's actually kind of interesting now, but I think the flavors really come together in the fermentation though. So this is your product, available in Whole Foods near you. And I just can't pass up the opportunity to eat kimchi. This is killer. All right, we're gonna do one more thing now. We're gonna do one more riff on kimchi style. And that's gonna be something that's a super quick one.
Quick ferment, just everybody that you get a cucumber and you're like ready to go.
Who can't do that? All right, lead me into this one. This is just a regular old cucumber that comes wrapped up in plastic, one of those guys.
Yeah.
So less seeds, a gourmet cuke.
Right, so I'm just cutting this very thinly, maybe about 1/8 of an inch. And then we're just gonna put about 2 teaspoons, I would say, salt, and then sort of give it a quick little toss. Just like, you salt the pasta water, or you just...
Salt everything. Chefs salt their shoes. I mean, salt is the beginning of everything.
And then meanwhile, I'm just gonna cut my chives. So then you're just kind of throwing the kimchi seasoning together. So
Getting your red pepper flakes?
Red pepper flakes. And then you've got just onions.
Okay, just sliced real thin.
Yeah.
Fish
and
sauce.
Then fish sauce, if you don't want to have fish sauce, you don't need to put fish sauce.
I want fish sauce.
Just, yeah. Why not? I'm putting a pinch of sugar as well. And then you just throw this
pile of the chopped chives.
Yeah. And again, you just let this, sit another 5-15 minutes. There are no rules in kimchi making.
Remember that.
That's what we have to live by. So.
Don't go Paul Greco on us.
Oh no. Okay.
Lauren Chung, thanks for coming out today. I'd shake your hand, but I can't do
I
that.
know.
We'll do the fist. We'll do the fist thing. Great book coming out November 2012 called
The Kimchi Cookbook.
I had to let you shill for that. Mother-in-law kimchi, Whole Food stores, and other cool artsy stores around the city. I'm sure there's hippie bearded stores all over Brooklyn with your stuff on the shelves.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So it's great. I just love being able to tell people the kimchi story.
Well, that's why we're here. Eat more kimchi.
Using
that's
my hands to make kimchi. So.
Wait, look at her hands. Hold the hands up. That's it. That's it. She's walking the walk, talking the talk, rubbing the rub. No, it's so great. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming on. I'm not kidding. I am going. My mission in the next couple of months to learn how to make kimchi. So I'll be texting you some my questions. What happens when it turns black and blows up? Or is there smoke normally coming out of the jar? That's right. Don't let it explode.
Don't let it explode.
All right. Eat more kimchi, folks. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.